Morning, 10th of May 2024. So, we've got manners, mankind. There it is. The song today is Eye to Eye Contact. I remember it very well. So either making contact with somebody with the eyes, just like it says, or just plain contact. We've got second house of Taurus, and we've got Saturn, both together. They're the truth, speaking the truth. And Leo, so courage, strength, backbone, the heart, the back, karma, power struggles. Number 10, today the Wheel of Fortune. So we want it in the upright. 10th of May 2024. So change, courage, truth, faith, mankind. Oh, funny. Oh, I've got one. So the Wheel of Fate, it has the 4 stubborn signs, the fixed signs, the ones that don't want to make change, which is Taurus, second house, Leo, which we've got in the dice, Aquarius, and what's the other one? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The good thing about the wheel is it keeps turning. So even if it's in the reverse, the only way then for it to turn is up. So let's see. Unfortunately, it is in the reverse. So there's changes that we don't like that they've been talking about still coming. But we're not going to walk this journey alone. So emotionally, this is as good as it gets. This is unconditional love for yourself and others, or someone loves you unconditionally. Could be in spirit or the flesh. It's Cancer energy, home and family life. It's Cancer cuspers, so early Leo, 21st of July, and late Gemini, 21st of June. Victory, success, don't gloat about it. Power struggles, illness, bad temper, heart and back issues, impatience, greed, intolerance, and a woman who seeks revenge. Could be a divorced or widowed woman, could be someone who's not thinking clearly, someone with mental illness, someone who is very, very confused. It could be a doctor, priest, or lawyer making bad decisions. Don't take advice from a professional female. 8 or 26 is negative. There has been a betrayal here or a passing. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Enough is enough. What's done is done. There is impatience, like I said, with this situation of the changes that's happened or about to happen that you don't like. It's time to accept what you cannot change and move on. Set sail for calm waters. So unfortunately today is in the negative, but like I said, the only way to go from here is upwards. But the 8 and 26 suggest power struggles. We will be victorious, but we can't seek revenge. Karma is not given out by us. It ends here. Yeah, we have enemies, and those enemies may well be ourselves. Swift, rapid communication coming our way, and I would believe it. Aquarius energy, so dimming your light to fit in, crowds, being a sheep, leaving hope in the box like Pandora did. It'll get you nowhere. You need to release hope and the chaos, and from the chaos will be created order. 17. There's another Leo card in the negative. 19. This is an enigma, a puzzle, something to be solved. You've been kept in the dark or deliberately had obstacles put in your way. Possibly to do with travel and children. So it's not a good situation. You're in the dark, and things that happen in the dark is Leo's thing. Refusing to leave the baggage of the past behind, refusing to leave the misery behind, stuck. Yeah. So feeling lonely in a room full of people, feeling half erased, ignored, lacking in every way, especially financially. 17 and 19 is negative. Yeah, now we've got Libra, an injustice taking place again. 8 and 26 there. Arguments on the courtroom steps or something going wrong completely. Sitting on the fence, not making a decision. So this is what they've been warning us against for a very long time. If we don't make a decision, we're in trouble because we're very impatient. Somebody's very impatient to move forward. Red lights, red flags all over this. Stop what you're doing. Day off. Time for a bit of peace. Move on from storm waters to calmer ones. Travel across water, perhaps. 6 weeks. Someone is blind to what's going on. because they're being deliberately kept in the dark, you do not see the red flags, and you should. To do with this power struggle, losing hope because of these changes. They don't want you to lose hope. There are enemies out there. Yep, another 5. So change is coming in the emotional and financial life. Don't cry over spilt milk. If you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious. Live in the now time. Build a bridge, get over it. You played your part in it, but you're not to blame. Love yourself first. Now we have a couple. Unconditional love. There is commitment here. It's mutual, unconditional love. A couple. They're living on spirit. Apologies are needed. Massive apologies, I would have thought. Slow and steady wins the race, moving forwards. Chiron, something needs to heal. Virgo energy. Those with the scar on the leg, the limp, the amputation. Manchester, the bees, agriculture. Those in uniform of a darker complexion. Apologies are needed. It's just a heavy burden to carry. Yeah, we've got 3 tens now. So an end to this course of action, an end to financial and emotional security, and an end to communication of all kind, which brings Persephone out of the gates of hell. So secrets are being revealed, it's all coming to light. Wrongdoers will get what they deserve. Be careful that what you put out there is positive. Anything from the mouth or going into the mouth should be positive. Diet, medication, food, words written or spoken. So traveller, the psychic, the tarot reader, the Romany, the carnival people. October the 11th, where I come from. 2 and 29, positive energy. Sacrifices will be worth it. But you're trapped in overthinking, analysis paralysis. Your inner child, your ego is playing tricks on you because of the triggers, things that are being triggered. Don't overthink it. This is about children possibly, or childhood trauma or child abuse. Oh, and I've just shuffled. So mother energy, 3 and 30. External to this situation is where you will grow. You cannot grow here. It's new growth. It's mother and daughter issues. It is happiness returning. The military, May the 31st, November the 11th. Elaine said about Canada's Memorial Day. It's growth, it's agriculture. Things beginning to take root and grow, but external to this situation. So, manners, mankind. 3 and 30. 2 and 29. So, the 29th and 30th of this month, or the 2nd and 3rd of next month. Manners is about mankind, the family, men, women, tradition, foresight, the keen-eyed hawk, the one that flies high and sees the bigger picture. The elm. We've got the elm on here. So let's have a look if we've got it on in the branch. The elm, 161. It is the extra day of the year, February the 29th. The pad beneath the palm of the foot. So Venus, which is that one. The colour piebald, the stone of amber, so the name amber could be important. The lapwing, the queen of the druids, things that are hidden, there we go. The moon, the silver, the horse, those born in the year of the horse. It signifies insight, day of liberation, freedom, liberation, there's the victory there. Freedom at all cost. It's crying the loudest, beginning of an answer, beginning of a calling. So you're beginning your true calling in life. Although this myth that relates to the doings of humankind can be said to be relevant to this rune, it acts as Heimdall, the god who stands between. During one of his periods of wandering, it's the one where it goes off. So, in the guise of rigor, stayed overnight with 3 different married couples. So if you're happily married, be warned, something is going on. In each case, he slept with a host wife before moving on. In the fullness of time, 3 sons were born, so it could be about paternity of children. The first was named Thrall, the second was named Carl, and the third Jarl or Earl. These 3 men were regarded as being the ancestors of the 3 classes of Nordic society. The first was the nobles, Carl was the warrior, and Thrall was the progenitor of the peasants. They became the ancestors of humankind, was the first god to pass on the knowledge of the runes to his mortal offspring. Further in the story slightly, Jarl was said to have been the father of Kono and the king of Denmark. It relates to a person who was asked the question. It may signify your status and the way that others tend to perceive you. It also serves as a reminder that we are all products of our experiences from childhood onwards. There we go. You must look to your own conduct before criticising those around you. Don't overthink things and don't pick at others. Keep it positive. The rune may well have further implications. It can reveal that you've been deluding yourself and you are not the person you thought yourself to be. So when the rune is prominent in a reading, it's time for a reassessment and examination of your motives and your aims. So why do you want something? Equally, the motives of others should come under scrutiny because something here is being hidden, and you should ask some searching questions before committing yourself to any binding agreements. Balance is not a rune of haste. If it's an important decision to be made, consult a trusted advisor, but not the female one because she isn't doing things correctly, and her life traumas are colouring her judgment, should we say. It has to be someone who has no personal interest in the situation and wait to see what develops. Legal affairs are likely, but this is not a reason to panic. You need to slow down and look within yourself and at your conduct. So if you are going through a court case, especially over children, you've got to be fair and just or it won't go in your favour. So don't try and do someone over in the courts. When the rune is inverted, you must be aware that someone close to you bears you ill will. Yes, you have enemies. In a negative position, manas usually indicates an enemy. That's not always so. For instance, some rune readers suggest that it can denote male homosexuality or nervousness and a lack of courage. That is the result, yes, cowardice. So someone may be wanting to tell the parents that they're gay but they daren't. Because this lack of courage is a result of being blighted by an overly strict father or harsh authority figure. Second house is about the neck and throat, truth. So speak your truth no matter what and shame the devil, because if you lie, You will be found out. It's the neck, the throat, banks, the heart chakra, finances, the material world, your wealth, your worldly goods, your personal resources, possessions, how this makes you feel secure, what you value the most, whether it's money or happiness, self-worth, material values, and spending. So Saturn in Leo. This placement may limit or delay creative expression or channel it into a rigid outlet. Life may be difficult because the pleasure principle is effectively blocked. So somebody is trying to block your happiness, stealing it from you. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. So we have to go back to the past, settle it, and then come back and begin again as the phoenix rising. 51. It happens 4 times a year, so we've just had one, but there will be another one coming. It is the Two of Swords. You have a decision to make. And this card comes up in a reading. Back up all your equipment, your computers, your cell phones, and address book. Anything to do with technology or mechanics. Electrical appliances purchased at this time may end up needing to be returned. Any sales items will often turn out to be duds. Do not make the mistake of purchasing a vehicle at this time. If you have your vehicle repaired, expect to take it back to the shop to have something revised or corrected. This period will last about a week. You will want to go carefully over any contract you sign. Check the small details, any emails or letters you send. If you're about to leave on a trip, leave early because there must be some unusual delays. Make sure you have clothing for all types of weather because the temperature may likely change. Mundane matters, retrograde planets are said to be more empathic, and that means strangely, there we are, that we're more tuned in. Fated meetings and occurrences will happen. You may meet up with someone you haven't seen in years in a most unexpected place. You may have a conversation with someone with whom you only have a superficial relationship. So eye-to-eye contact across a room maybe. Suddenly you connect to that person, causing a much deeper rapport. If you're asking about strengthening a relationship, this is not a good time to get married, but an excellent time to renew your vows. If you're feeling hopeless and worried that a relationship is never going to work, chances are it might get back on its feet after this week. But if not, and you're going to court, you're going to have to be very, very fair and end this amicably. It's also a fortuitous time to connect with a lover from the past. It's time to revise, reinvent, and renew. So you have a decision to make. Pretty much, do I stay or do I go? Number 4, the maiden, the daughter again, the younger female, the innocent, the love and the past. So the love of the past. Someone returning from the past. Number 4. The Trinity Knot, the maiden, the mother and the crone, past, present and future. 3 life cycles of women. The maiden is a symbol of innocence and the past. She is young and yet to learn the hardships of the world, and thus she sees the world through a set of innocent eyes. The world is her oyster, and she is in search of love. She may be a bit naive, but that's not a bad thing when all you see is beauty around you. The maiden reminds us of a time where we also saw life as fun, inspiring and full of wonder. Have you lost that part of yourself? It's never truly gone, just somewhat forgotten about as we navigate through the hardships of life. We can still be one with this part of ourselves again if we allow ourselves to see the beauty in the small things. Something as simple as smelling a beautiful flower or sitting in nature and watching the wildlife dance. It may be time to remember the things that used to bring you joy and a sense of peace. We may not have the time to do all the things, but we can integrate small amounts of it into our life that give us benefit. Where have you lost your innocence, and where can you gain it back? The more we bring the small joys back into our life, the younger and lighter we feel, no longer weighed down by the multitude of tasks and stresses that are in our lives. And there's the 10 of Wands, a heavy burden. Our Lady of the Lightning, she's our challenge today, 35. Unpleasant news and unexpected shocks. An overall sense of powerlessness. You cannot control this. There we go. Are the aspects and may experience when the Lady of the Lightning appears as a challenger. This is a time when you may be forced to make a change that you don't want to make. There we go. The changes we don't want to make. A situation may suddenly turn in a different direction than you'd hoped it would. This is a sign of difficulty and unwanted surprises, but consider the idea of thunderstorms and how beautiful and charged with electricity the world is after it passes. It will always pass, because that is the nature of the storm. Your difficulties will too, as that is the way of things as well. In the realm of the Lady of the Lightning, it is prudent to engage in the law of non-resistance. Relax and wait for the storm to pass, in the shelter of your faith and goodwill, trusting that all will be well, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. A wonderful new life has the opportunity to grow when the storm passes. The Lady of the Lightning would much prefer to be your ally anywhere. And finally, Balder, injured in the eye, so an eye injury by his brother. So brothers could be important, a betrayal or a passing. And it's your orange chakra, so it's your gut instinct. There may be some sort of near-death experience, if not a death. Balder is the Norse god of loved by all, so unconditional love by all, including humans and other gods. Balder was born son of Frigg, who loved her son like no other. Frigg had a premonition that her son would die young, so overthinking it, manifesting it, it can happen. So to save her son, she made all the animals and plants take an oath not to harm him. As Balder grew up, the other gods found it amusing to try different ways to harm him, but never got to any avail. So it could be a bullying situation, so watch your kids. Balder had only one enemy, Loki, so a trickster, who wanted to be rid of him because of the admiration of all the gods, so jealousy. Loki tricked Frigg into telling him that the mistletoe was the only part that did not take the oath. So Christmas, December time, Loki set forth and made a dart of mistletoe and gave it to Balder's blind brother, who threw the dart at Balder and killed him. Balder's body was cremated on a boat, so burial at sea maybe. And in her grief, his wife threw herself onto the burning body so that she could be with him in the afterlife. What she didn't know is that doesn't happen if you commit suicide. Not that you go to hell, but you are in limbo for quite some time till all who love you forgive you for leaving them. So don't do that because we've got a very depressed widow here. It's not time for you yet. You are renowned for your ability to avoid situations and incidents and come out the other end generally unscathed. And people believe that you have the luck of the gods on your side. That's not true. You have an amazing knack of being able to see things in a positive manner. What they don't know is that you hurt like everyone else. The difference is your attitude to recovery. It's time to consider telling others of your feelings, and experiences, so that they understand you better. You are a teacher and a role model and need to share your experiences of resilience with others to enable them to understand the positive strategies you use to get through a difficult and challenging situation. Your knowledge will motivate others, so don't keep your story to yourself. To change their views and give them the opportunity to have a better outcome in their own lives. So you are here to teach others how not to make the same mistakes as you. So thanks for listening. Beautiful read. Speak soon. Bye.